Digestive System Part 1. Digestion is defined as the process by which food is broken down into simple chemical substances that can be absorbed and used as nutrients by the body. Most of the substances in the diet cannot be utilized as such. These substances must be broken into smaller particles so that they can be absorbed into blood and distributed to various parts of the body for utilization. Digestive system is responsible for these functions. Digestive process is accomplished by mechanical and enzymatic breakdown of food into simple chemical compounds. The functions of digestive system are ingestion or consumption of food substances, breaking them into small particles, transport of small particles to different areas of the digestive tract, then secretion of necessary enzymes and other substances for digestion, digestion of the food particles, and absorption of digestive products along with removal of unwanted substances from the body. Functional anatomy of digestive system. It consists of gastrointestinal tract or alimentary canal and accessory organs which help in the process of digestion and absorption. GI tract is a tubular structure extending from the mouth up to the anus with a length of about 30 feet. It opens to the external environment on both ends. GI tract is formed by two types of organ. Number 1, primary digestive organ. Primary digestive organs are the organs where actual digestion takes place. These include mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. And number 2 is accessory digestive organs. Accessory digestive organs are those which help primary digestive organs in the process of digestion, and they are teeth, tongue, salivary gland, exocrine part of pancreas, liver and gallbladder. Wall of gastrointestinal tract. In general, wall of the GI tract is formed by four layers which are from inside out. Number 1, mucus layer. Number 2, submucous layer. Number 3, muscular layer. And fourth is serous or fibrous layer. Mucosa has three layers of structure. Number 1, epithelial lining. Epithelial lining is in contact with the contents of GI tract. The type of cells in this layer varies in different parts of GI tract. The inner surface of mouth, surface of tongue, inner surface of pharynx and esophagus have stratified squamous epithelial cells. However, mucous membrane lining the other parts such as stomach, small intestine and large intestine has columnar epithelial cells. Number 2 is lamina propria. It is formed by connective tissues which contains fibroblasts, macrophages, lymphocytes and eosinophils. And third one is muscularis mucosa. Muscularis mucosa layer consists of a thin layer of smooth muscle fibers. It is absent in mouth and pharynx. It is present from esophagus onwards. Number 2 is submucous layer. Submucous layer is also present in all parts of GI tract except the mouth and pharynx. It contains loose collagen fibers, elastic fibers, reticular fibers and few cells of connective tissues. Blood vessels, lymphatic vessels and nerve plexus are present in this layer. Third one is muscular layer. Muscular layer in lips, cheeks and wall of pharynx contains skeletal muscle fibers. The esophagus has both skeletal and smooth muscle fibers. Wall of the stomach and intestine is formed by smooth muscle fibers. Smooth muscle fibers in stomach are arranged in three layers. They are inner oblique layer, middle circular layer, and outer longitudinal layer. Smooth muscle fibers in intestine are arranged in two layers, inner circular layer and outer longitudinal layer. Auerbach's nerve plexus is present in between the circular and longitudinal muscle fibers. The smooth muscle fibers present in inner circular layer of anal canal constitute internal anal sphincter. The external anal sphincter is formed by skeletal muscle fibers. And the last one is serous or fibrous layer. Outermost layer of the wall of GI tract is either serous or fibrous in nature. The serous layer is also called serosa or serous membrane, and it is formed by connective tissues and mesoepithelial cells. It covers stomach, small intestine and large intestine. The fibrous layer is otherwise called fibrosa and it is formed by connective tissue. It covers pharynx and esophagus. Nerve supply to gastrointestinal tract. GI tract has two types of nerve supply. Number 1, intrinsic nerve supply, and number 2, extrinsic nerve supply. Intrinsic nerve supply. Enteric nervous system. Intrinsic nerves to GI tract form the enteric nervous system that controls all the secretions and movements of GI tract. Enteric nervous system is present within the wall of GI tract from esophagus to anus. Nerve fibers of this system are interconnected and form two major networks called Auerbach's plexus and Meissner's plexus. These nerve plexes contain nerve cell bodies, processes of nerve cells, and the receptors. The receptors in the GI tract are stretch receptors and chemoreceptors. Enteric nervous system is controlled by extrinsic nerves. Number 1. Auerbach's plexus. Auerbach plexus is also known as myenteric nerve plexus. It is present in between the inner circular muscle layer and the outer longitudinal muscle layer. Functions of Auerbach's plexus. Major function of this plexus is to regulate the movement of GI tract. Some nerve fibers of this plexus accelerates the movements by secreting the excitatory neurotransmitter substances like acetylcholine, serotonin and substance P. Other fibers of this plexus inhibit the GI motility by secreting the inhibitory neurotransmitters such as vasoactive intestinal polypeptide, that is VIP, neurotensin and enkephalin. Number 2 is Meissner nerve plexus. Meissner plexus is otherwise called submucous nervous nerve plexus. It is situated in between the muscular layer and submucosal layer of GI tract. Functions of Meissner plexus is the regulation of secretory functions of GI tract. These nerve fibers cause constriction of blood vessels of GI tract. Here is the diagram showing structure of intestinal wall with intrinsic nerve plexus. Next is extrinsic nerve supply. Extrinsic nerves that control the enteric nervous system are from autonomic nervous system. Both sympathetic and parasympathetic division of autonomic nervous system innervate the GI tract. Sympathetic nerve fibers. Preganglionic sympathetic nerve fibers to GI tract arise from lateral horns of spinal cord between 5th thoracic and 2nd lumbar segments. From here, the fibers leave the spinal cord, pass through the ganglia of sympathetic chain without having any synapse and then terminate in the celiac and mesenteric ganglia. The postganglionic fibers from these ganglia are distributed throughout the GI tract. Functions of sympathetic nerve fibers are Sympathetic nerve fibers inhibit the movement and decrease the secretion of GI tract by secreting the neurotransmitter noradrenaline. It also causes constriction of sphincters. Parasympathetic nerve fibers. Parasympathetic nerve fibers to GI tract pass through some of the cranial nerves and sacral nerves. The preganglionic and postganglionic parasympathetic nerve fibers to mouth and salivary glands pass through facial and glossopharyngeal nerves. Preganglionic parasympathetic nerve fibers to esophagus, stomach, small intestine and upper part of large intestine pass through vagus nerve. Preganglionic nerve fibers to lower part of large intestine arise from second, third and fourth sacral segments of spinal cord and pass through pelvic nerve. All these preganglionic parasympathetic nerve fibers synapse with postganglionic nerve cell in myelinic and submucous plexus. Functions of parasympathetic nerve fibers. Parasympathetic nerve fibers accelerate the movements and increase the secretion of GI tract. The neurotransmitter secreted by the parasympathetic nerve fiber is acetylcholine. Thanking all. Samhita Ayurveda.